United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Morning.
All right, we'll check up on Mr. Phillips,
Here.
Mr. Cox,
Here.
Ms. Cookenbook,
Present.
Mr. Booth,
Here.
and Mr. Turner.
Here.
We have a quorum. Sir, just right before we start, I want to pass it to Danny to introduce a new member of our staff.
Yeah, so this is Brian. Brian's our new IT tech.
Morning.
And, yeah, he's got a associates in computer science that he's working on, so he'll be finishing up this year and doing great so far. So,
Excellent.
Hands-on training.
yeah.
Welcome, welcome.
I saw him in the roof at one time.
Yeah.
With that, I'll take a motion to approve the agenda. Does anybody have anything you want to add to it?
Yeah.
Sir, if I may, the minutes were not ready for review for you guys in time, so we'd like to put that on the next agenda, if that's okay.
As many votes as they go around. It's going to be as far as kids are.
I will move to approve the agenda as amended.
All right. So the approval of the agenda is amended to remove the minutes at this time and place on the next agenda. Ms. Cookenbook?
Yes.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Mr. Phillips?
Yes.
Mr. Booth?
Yes.
And Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move forward to our disbursements. Do you have any questions or?
I just have a comment, sir. I know that I keep bringing it up, but, and February was a very cold month, so it's understood, but we've got to look into these larger buildings that we have and, see if we can't get an energy audit in for library, courthouse, and this building, just to see what we might be able to improve, in terms of lights or whatever they could, give us. And I know that you have mentioned this to Rob, our APCO guys, so as soon as we can get that done, because the savings will probably be, pretty noticeable. So, but otherwise, no other comments. Everything looks pretty normal.
You know, anything else? Not, I'll take a motion to approve. Second.
So moved.
All right, on a motion to approve the disbursements, Ms. Cookenbook?
Yes.
Mr. Phillips?
Yes.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Mr. Booth?
Yes.
And Mr. Turner?
Yes. We'll give you 4 extra minutes this morning.
I don't know if I'll need that or not.
No, thank you.
I was going to start by saying how much I appreciate it, Christina and Mr. Tolbert, but I think I'll hold that now until later.
I got the email.
Well, so we had.
Your turn at bat.
I'm gonna step back now. We had our meeting last night and started with a public hearing on our proposed budget. We did not have any speakers at that, so we moved on to our division spotlight, which was our literacy growth. You may have heard all the buzz with the Virginia Literacy Act in the past few years, and with that came some more assessments. So we do some language and literacy screeners 3 times a year in grades K through 3 now. And it really breaks down into all the pieces of learning how to read, and we can really pinpoint where there might be struggles very early on. So I know how strongly people feel about assessments, but this one has been very beneficial for us to identify very early where students are in need of support. So we have 475 students in grades K through 3. And we had, from fall to mid-year, we had 108 students move into the low-risk category from beginning to end. The high risk, the ones we were watching, we started the year with 134 in that range, and mid-year we're already at 84. So we're making lots of progress. The assessment gets harder each time it's given, so the spring assessment will be even more difficult, but we're confident that our students will do well. We highlighted in particular the kindergarten's classes at Floyd Elementary. They had an increase of 311% of students in their low-risk category. They started with 9, they moved to 37 out of 44 kids in the whole kindergarten. So 37 of them are low risk out of 44. So good stuff going on across the division in literacy, and very proud of the work that's going on in our classrooms. Couple of action items, because there's an election on April 21st, we had to change our calendar to a work day for that, and so that is now a teacher work day, and we'll be sending out announcements to families about that today. The school board also adopted the calendar for next year with a first day of August 12th and a last day of May 26th. We're working on our business honor roll nominations for businesses in the community who have been extra helpful to our school division. No surprise, it's gonna be Skyline Bank and Floyd Express for the work that they do to support, not just with tickets, but Express does a lot with supplying food for all the various events and fundraisers that we have. Our enrollment was at $15.98 for the month of February. We set a time for March 30th at 3:30 for an adjourned meeting to approve the draft budget estimate. We're still waiting on the General Assembly. They adjourn on Saturday, so we're hopeful that there'll be a budget finalized by then. The House budget does include the same 2% salary increase from the governor's budget, but it also includes a one-time flexible payment to school divisions to use for any kind of priorities they have with no local match. So that would be about $622,000 that would come to us. One-time flexible spending, but I just see buses with that if it can go through. So we're hopeful that will make it out of the budget conference. And the Senate budget does not have that flexible one-time amount, but it does have a 3% salary increase. So again, we're running off the governor's budget, which is a little bit less than both of those. So we'll see how that shakes out, and hopefully by March 30th, it will be a little more defined for us to move forward. We had our special education annual plan presented. Set the graduation date for the high school is May 15th at 6 o'clock at Coach Beal Field. Hopefully the last 2 years we've had to move indoors. That will be May 15th at 6. Their senior awards are going to be May 7th at 7 p.m. in the auditorium. We have one more school board visitation. That's at Floyd Elementary next Monday. And that pretty much summed up our meeting.
May 15th is graduation, huh?
It will be here fast.
Did that get moved up? Or is that
It was
always
about the
been-
16th last year, I think.
Okay.
We'll have to say we did have the pleasure, we
Oh.
joked earlier. She was leaving that one for me.
That was.
It was Jenny, myself. It was the career connected learning, which is Dr. Croner explained 10 in the United States.
Nine now, one decided not to participate, so there's 9 school divisions in the United States.
There's a facilitator there, so we're able to, observe classrooms, meet with kids, do some interviewing, and just really hear the core of, what's the current core of what's on their mind, the kids' minds and what they'd like to see, and it was really inspiring. It was really touching. and exciting to be a part of. So again, thank you again.
And that's what I was going to say, is thank you so much for both of you for coming, and for Ladina and Tabitha. The kickoff was a bigger deal, so we know that's a lot of time that people spent there. We're gonna meet every 2 weeks from now through May with the team, so, you know, they'll make tag team and one of them come when they can. Same thing with Ladina and Tabitha. But the visit last week was amazing. Hearing from the students, seeing the classes, getting everyone's feedback and insights, and kind of some trends of what we see in currently happening, and the dreams that we want to see happening. So we're still kind of coming down off that high, because it was just very fulfilling and affirming of a lot of good things that we have going on in Floyd. And then the chance to dream and to hear from the students about what experiences they would like to see.
How old were the students that participated?
We had all the way from 7th grade to 12th grade.
Great.
So getting a good
And
mix.
how many folks from the organization came? Just one?
Two. There was another one that came. Yeah, we had our design partner he spent 2 days with us, and we toured the Innovation Center with him, and had interviewed some teachers and staff, toured the entire high school, and then we will go in 2 weeks to Washington DC and do what they call a design sprint, where we'll kind of pick something from the kickoff that we need to focus on, and we'll implement a little pilot thing to try and see how that goes, and then look at the next 10 months and what we do and plan for implementation.
And one of the things I didn't ask last time was, how long had you been working on trying to get into this program? Like, what was the?
It was actually, we had never heard of it
Okay.
Until August, when our Chev partner emailed, hey, they're accepting applications
And
for
what did
this
Chev mean?
state higher education
Something.
State Council of Higher Education in Virginia or something like that.
Gotcha, okay.
So they sent
Yeah,
out the
that's probably what it is,
opportunity, and flipped it to Miss Questenberry and said, this looks kind of interesting. It's focused on rural divisions and some of the barriers that we face with careers. And
Yeah.
so we wrote this 15-page application and had some interviews, and got accepted.
History.
Yep. It's been very worthwhile, and we've just started, and we're already feeling very grateful to be a part of it.
Excellent.
You know all my concerns, so other than that, I do appreciate y'all inviting me to the school the other night. And, thank you for all you've been doing. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Brown.
Back to my soapbox for a second. Because I know y'all, when you've had this discussion before, but I just want to let you know, Sunday evening I run into another one of the cases where there was a lot of noise, so I just wrote out my name, the address, and everything. And the girl that was registering us, when I gave it to her, she acted real funny, and it dawned on me, she can't read cursive. So I didn't want to embarrass her, so I said, you can't read that. And she said, what's this? And I said, this is J-O-E. And I said, and she recognized the D, and she said, well, what's this? And I said, term, T-U-R-M-A-N. So I realized then that she couldn't read it all, so I just told her what it was. Like I said, I didn't want to embarrass her. When she walked away, there was a woman standing there, my grandson was with me, and my granddaughter teaches in Carroll, and this teacher talked with her. And I told her, I said, my superintendent's probably tell me to shut up when he's. I said, because I keep hounding this, that they need to get back, the Board of Education in Richmond or wherever, needs to start pushing. I'm an old fossil, so I believe in 3 R's. Read, write, and arithmetic. But we're really doing these kids a disservice of not teaching them cursive and, just the basics, because there's still a lot of us old people around that writes cursive, I mean, she had a beautiful print, but she just couldn't do cursive for it.
We teach it in 2nd grade,
Yeah.
so we're still teaching it.
I can vouch for that. My grandmother just told me about her adventures.
And I'm glad, we may be the only county in the state. We can shut everybody else there, right, cursive,
Hopefully.
Have their own code.
Yeah, well, somebody said if you wanted to confuse a youngin', give them something written in cursive and a regular clock. You know, so- But, you know, I know this is a computer age, and it's important, and they need to keep up with their technology. But the reason that technology is there is because they had the arithmetic and all that other stuff in school to learn to do all this stuff. You know, I fiddled around and, you know, got rid of my algebra book and, you know, just went ahead and used it for a study hall. And I know I signed up for a position at Sprague Electric when I worked there. And the guy was wanting me to put in for, in the engineering department. Because he said, you know, you're good at this other stuff, you know, said, apply for it, take the test. I missed it because I couldn't do algebra. And boy, I kicked myself ever since, you know, because, you know, my career may have took a different direction, you know, if I could got into that engineering department. But, it is what it is, good Lord put you where he wants you, so,
It's a constant balance between
yeah. Yeah.
skills that we need to teach. There's a lot that we want them to learn before they leave us.
Yeah, and give them a broad spectrum to work with. I'll shut up. I just wanted to bring that up, that, you know, it still bothers me that I feel like a lot of kids are losing out, you know. I don't know about homeschooling, how they do it, but maybe they'll hear me. Right, yeah. But we appreciate everything you do.
Chairman? All right.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Enjoy these next 2 warm days, because they're gone.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Clark. David,
He's in the train.
You got 5 extra minutes.
and you probably gonna need about 15.
David. It's from June.
Who's Mr. Camp? Finish the signing up.
Sorry.
That's all right, you're fine. Well, good morning.
Morning.
At least the weather's a bit better than it has been.
Indeed.
It's still, we still had at least 3, what we termed winter storms over the last month, since I was last here, and those each require us to be prepared even if nothing happens. And we had a lot of those where we had precipitation forecasts and temperatures right at that,
Yep.
30 to 35 degree kind of thing, so you never know what's gonna happen when that happens. You get those, so. But in between that, we did have some decent weather, and as we do in the springtime, we try to get out on the gravel roads when we can. Right now, with, probably most of the snow being over, although, it's never over till it's over. We're hauling a lot of maintenance, what we call maintenance replacement stone, putting back stone that got pushed and moved, whatever, during the snow. So we're hauling a lot of stone to the gravel roads, grading a lot of the gravel roads, and then patching as we can. Asphalt plants open for good, we'll do a lot more patching. We'll be doing a lot of patching on the roads that are on the overlay schedule that we haven't patched out yet or got damage over the winter. I can get you that schedule. I don't have it with me now, the schedule for the overlays. But most of the check patching was done, check area headquarters patching was done on primaries, Route 8 and 221, the Willis patching. They did get onto the secondaries and do some spot pothole patching on Allen Ridge, some on Firehouse. And like I said, I'm not gonna read all the spots where the gravel roads where we haul the stone and machine the roads. It's gonna have to be all of them at some point here. We'll get to them as quickly as we can. Did do some pipe work in the Willis area on Duncan Valley, Burke Fork, Reese Road, some tree cleanup in the Willis area, and that probably covers all between that and the weather. That's towards what we've been up to. So we know the potholes are there, and we're just gonna try to stay ahead of them, or at least catch up with, new ones forming and the old ones. But again, hopefully, the frigid cold weather, the freezing and thawing that we've gotten, over January, will stop, and we won't get too many more new ones, bad ones anyway. That's all I have.
So, Brenda,
Oh, okay. So on the, pothole patching, did we get out in Copper Hill on 221? Can you confirm? I haven't been out there. Levi, have you been out on?
I know they've been doing
What's wrong?
221, I know there's a lot out there, but.
That was on my list.
Okay, all right, I'll let you take care of it, because
Yeah.
I've got a lot of
I
calls.
got an experience too.
Oh, okay, to pass along. Also, in my work with the Regional Commission, I'm sure you're aware that, there is gonna be some money from the, Hurricane Helene Disaster Relief Fund for culverts and bridges in particular that are washed, or could be washed out or are compromised. If you have any questions, I know that, you could probably talk to Eli over at the Regional
Oh, yeah,
Commission.
definitely.
I mean, make sure that you are, in contact with them. There's gonna be a lot of money available, and, I just wanna make sure that if there's anything in Floyd County that had any impact from that storm, that we look into it, for that money. So you can talk with Kevin Bird or Eli over at the Regional Commission.
Yeah, I'm in touch with them.
All right,
Frequently,
you are.
yeah.
All right, just talk to them about that
Yeah.
money. Speaking of bridges, Walter, this is your district, but it's kind of on the edge of mine, and it's where I live. Coming down the hill, the bridge over Brush Creek on Route 602, Laurel Ridge Mill Road, there appears to be a bit of separation, pavement to the actual bridge deck. Am I using correct VDOT terms?
There's a bridge deck and the abutment.
Okay,
Yeah.
maybe it's the abutment. Anyway,
The
the
abutment's
deck,
sort of this L-shaped piece of concrete
Yeah.
that sits right there, and then the beams sit on the,
yeah,
Well, the
well,
bridge seat.
whatever it is, there is
Yeah. And
definitely
there's
some
sometimes-
separation going on. So, that never feels good,
okay,
when there's separation
Yeah.
on a bridge.
yeah.
Never
Well,
feels
we had talked about that, has to be on Epperly Mill. There was a
Right,
separation
so
on there.
if,
Which-
I know that's technically Montgomery County, but
Yeah.
enough residents
Oh, sure, yeah, it's
kinda
right there on the.
go back and forth
Yeah.
on that area right in there.
Okay.
So, yeah, so really, it's not your district, Walter, it's Mr.
Todd
King's district.
Yeah, it's a tough.
But
I'll
but
talk to
it's right
Todd
on
about
the
that.
edge of the line, which
Yeah.
is right there,
Right.
so. If you could please check that, and other than that, I mean, you know, the standards, all my gravel roads need work, Sunny Ridge, Double Springs.
Sunny Ridge was done, that's on my list. that we got
Excellent,
done.
excellent, okay,
Thunderstruck and
great,
Sowers and
good,
Don's Farm,
good, yeah. I was
Doesn't mean they
gonna
don't
say-
need it again.
No,
but,
I know, and Sandy Flats
Yeah.
and, you know, all of my gravel roads that, you know, come into question.
Mhm.
But I appreciate all the work the crews have done. I can attest that I saw the gravel trucks ready at the moment's notice on top of Pilot Mountain and other
Mhm.
places near Floyd, and ready, you know, nothing transpired, but that black ice
Yeah,
is,
yeah. Oh, wow, that Monday.
I know,
was
I
crazy.
know, that was, yeah, everybody missed it,
Yeah,
was they had 13 wrecks, about half of it.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that was a hard one. That was a hard one. Anyway,
Started all of a sudden, you know, all of a sudden.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
Warmed up just enough to melt it.
Mhm.
but like you said, out in Willis, there was nothing,
Yeah,
because it was warmer out there.
from Moore Road, Christiansburg Pike,
Yeah.
down that way in Franklin Pike.
Yeah, I mean, I can drop off my ridge, and by the time I get to the Little River Bridge, there can sometimes be a 10-degree difference.
Wow, yeah.
I mean, it's crazy, just, and that's in the morning hours.
Yeah.
Usually doesn't happen any other
No,
time.
it was dawn hours, yeah, right in the.
Yeah, yeah, right at dawn. Anyway, thank you again, thank you for all your hard work and the crews.
Don't have a heart attack, that's my spring list. I figured I'd get them out of the way at
Well,
one
just, you
time.
just tell the rest of the board we'll be working on your list.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, you guys aren't gonna get anything.
First off, I did live down by Cyrus Mill Dam and Nixon, they did a great job machining those roads and ditching where they could. There's some places you can't have a ditch, because there's no place to put it, but they did a great job there. Yeah, appreciate getting that spot up at the top of,
Yeah.
A&M Hill. It started to sink again, but I wouldn't do anything
Well, I
yet.
checked it as I was coming south, and I could see
it's-
that it looked like some fresh stuff there, but it still looked like you could tell where.
Well, I think they had it up, but I think
Yeah.
it's, you know, it's still going down for
Yeah.
whatever reason. And you know, you travel it, and this is actually Walter's district, but down there where we used to have the dumpsters, where the spring goes under the road
Right.
and it always humps up and goes back
Yes.
down. Might pay attention to that
Yeah.
asphalt there,
Yeah.
not getting into your business, but,
You're good, go.
do wanna mention, and this is not on the new pavement, but we've got several places on Route 8, the edge of the pavements broke up or breaking up. You know, it's either to the white line or all the way over past the white line, and it's not gonna be long before it actually gets out where we travel, so. And this is stuff, I know you've got a long list, it's just stuff to get to.
Mhm.
Let's see, where 730 intersects Route 8, you've got a couple of potholes there, which is not a bad thing, it kinda slows people down. But anyway, and also don't forget on down in what we used to call the dead man curve, where that culvert's, I don't know if the culvert's just sunk, or it's right there at the guardrail, you can, that, I believe Walter mentioned that a while back. Then I'll get to this, what I've got wrote down that I gave you. Of course, we've got some potholes on Christiansburg Pike. I did notice that between Moore Road and, Bluebird, it's a lane coming back toward the town. It appears there's a hole developing right on the edge of the asphalt right there, so it may need a stake and a cone, if nothing else. I went down and looked at Old Mill, that culvert is washed full again. Somebody went down there with a shovel and dug it out. If we could get a backhoe and get that drainage ditch there along the woods cleaned out, and I think, the way it looks, that ditch up there keeps going deeper and deeper, we may have to put some stone in it.
Yeah, it's a big stone, yeah.
But if you can add that to the list, now we'll go out to the Parkway. Morning View, Route 709. There, and most of this is from the snow removal. Basically, the ditches have been filled up. So, and there's a few spots that do need machining, the whole thing doesn't, if they're in that area. And, there's several soft spots, and I went out Saturday morning, and it hadn't rained for a while. There's several soft spots that need some gravel added to it or something. Also on Morning View, where James Lane intersects, it's a little crossover road, the stop sign's been pushed over, it's leaning against our road name sign, so that needs to be. Haycock is very perplexing.
It is.
I rode the full length of it. If you're going from the Parkway to Shooting Creek, well, between Morning View and the Parkway, there's one little stretch there that's got a place that needs patching, kind of to the center of the road. But from Morning View to the Parkway, you get on down there, there's places down there that are 2 to 3 foot long, that it looks like somebody took a tiller and just chunked it up. And it's that way, there's several of them between there and Shooting Creek. And also across the road from where, Morning View intersects, there's a hole right along the edges of the asphalt. Somebody put a stake in there and they put up orange tape on it. I don't know if that was y'all or citizens or whoever, but the tape's done just about faded out. If we could just stick a cone over that would, and I know you got a limited cone budget. Well, it's true, I hate it. Still on Morning View from where Hope Road intersects, coming back toward Route 8. where that creek runs that culvert, and of course the culvert won't handle the creek after a hard rain. The end of that culvert is washed out, it needs something, a cone, a barrel, something. If they meet somebody there, I'm afraid somebody's gonna drop off in it.
That's at Hope and Raleigh, you said?
You know,
Yeah.
it's back toward, it's on Morning View, but it's, where we had that big washout
Yeah.
last year, the culvert washed out, and, yeah, the repair job they did was great, but it's starting to wash again. And I don't know, by that being a creek coming down through there that has to go under the road, you're limited on what you can do for it.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be permitted.
And because it comes through the culvert, then it runs the side ditch down the
Yeah.
road back toward Hope Road. And, you know, when we get a heavy rain, it just won't carry it. Rock Road, 707. It could use some gravel, if you could add into this gravel list. There's no ditch and there's really no place to put one. It's an old mail route basically between the two banks. But it needs a little gravel to put on it if you could. Whispering Rock, Route 708, which is off of that road. There's some ditching that needs to be done, a little gravel, but down toward the end of the dead end, there's a culvert that goes under the road. It's washed out on one end of it too. And I think that's enough till about June.
Yeah. That would be seriously, yeah.
Whisper Rock.
Uh,
How far does Whisper Rock?
oh, it doesn't go very far, does it?
I think it is.
It's a dead end road.
Yeah.
You used to come in down on Mountain.
Yes, it still
Yeah.
does.
Yeah, I don't know if that end's discontinued or abandoned, but it goes down there just to that last house there, that wood side of the house.
Right,
And,
but it starts on that.
yeah, and part of the problem is, part of it, and I don't know if we can do anything about it. It looks like it, there was, at some time, a wet place up in the field, and they put a drainage tile in to run the spring down to that.
Right.
And where that pipe's at, it looks like, to me, that, you know, in a heavy rain, that pipe fills up and it shoots it out and it erodes that bank there. So may need some big stuff
Yeah.
there versus,
Something to slow that down when it gets real.
Yeah.
yeah.
Real good.
Well, it comes out right across from your culvert, so
Yeah.
when it if it builds up and shoots out, it's gonna splash right and wash it out. And, I do appreciate it. I know it sounds like I'm fussing, but I'm not. It's just, I'm trying to get ahead of the game, because I usually, this time of year, I start getting calls from people that I'm just trying to get ahead of the game. And they're on, I can say now, they're on the list, and when we can get to them, you'll get to them.
Yeah.
It's, which is what you do.
Yeah, well, I mean, I gave you a list of all the stuff we did, but the list of what you didn't get to versus what you did is always bigger.
I do appreciate y'all, please pass that on.
I will, yeah.
I don't want them to think I'm fussing. They're doing the best they can, I know you are too, with the funding you get, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
I appreciate all that y'all done the last few weeks. I think if we could get a copy of that overlay schedule.
Yeah.
That would help. Roads in my district, I can go ahead and just tell them, expect an overlay or something coming up. Connor Road, it's, the pavement's all over the place. Maybe that's on the overlay. I hope, I don't know, but I'm checking that. I ventured over into Jerry's district the other day on Penn Road, just up on Route 8. Man, that thing's crumbling all to pieces on the asphalt section, so if y'all maybe could check that out. And I have fell victim to the potholes on Route 8 and 730. Yeah, so every time I hit that thing, I'm going on 730.
Yeah.
So, and I can attest that they're using the motor grader down in check, because I've been seeing it go down Davis running for it, so. They're doing a good job of that. I was gonna make mention, is there a plan upcoming for the Copper Hill area on 221 to have any new pavement? Or is there anything on schedule?
Not the overlay schedule, I don't know if it's on next year's or not, but we're just right now, just gonna try to patch it out as best we can.
Alright, yeah, they did that section down like Ingram's store
Mhm.
last year, but man, from about the and this may have been something related to the patch, and I didn't really go back and check, but I was going down 221 towards Roanoke the other day, and it was just, it was in between Deer Run Drive and Reed's Garage. And really, it was the curve just before Reed's Garage, going towards Roanoke. And I looked down at the speedometer when it happened, just, you know, occasionally I may go a little fast, but I've been known to do that before. But I was going 52 miles an hour, but when I hit that curve, the back of my truck, I don't know if it was a patch job or what, but that thing just sort of skidded sideways.
Fishtailed?
Fishtailed to the left at 52 miles an hour. So, maybe if y'all could check that, cause I said, good gosh, what the world just about happened there.
See, the problem is, if I may, Levi, it
Yeah.
appears that we keep on patching. And I know that it may not be on the schedule, but this is a very critical part of Floyd citizenry travel, north and southbound on 221. I can't stress that more, because it's not, and I mean, I've talked about it being the welcoming road into Floyd County from, you know, Roanoke and eastward, but it's the daily traffic that our citizens have to, you know, go to and from Roanoke. Many of them work down there, between healthcare, the steel mill, all of it. And, yeah, you get stuck in one of those grooves, which is
Oh, yeah.
kind of what happened to Levi, and it just, you know, throws you around. So I don't know what you can do, but it's gonna take more than just a little patching.
I'll keep lobbying for more overlay, and in the meantime,
If you can-
my guys can patch, but that's,
If
my
you
guys
can-
can't overlay, yeah.
And I understand some of the secondary roads, and they're rough, but, I mean, I really do think if there's anything we can do to at least try to get that 221 stretch done sooner than later, I think it would be really beneficial. But I appreciate anything you can do.
Sure.
Thank you. All right.
Let's see, where we start? First of all, thank y'all for everything that you do. I do appreciate that. The people in the valley do too. So with that said, Forest Ridge, you know, I talked to you here a while back about the 0.8 of a mile towards 787. I hope y'all still have that on your schedule. I drove that Forest Ridge here the other day, and now from like Windy Hill back towards Timber Ridge, that section through there, it's plumb full of potholes. It just, that section really needs some patching done. On the corner of Max Mountain and Horse Ridge, but on the Max Mountain corner right there, the asphalt has come all to pieces, one big old spot. That needs to be fixed. I had a lady that called her about Pulaski Road. You know where that's at out there, past the Church of God? Evidently, they've done some timbering up in there, and then log trucks tore that all to pieces. And they come in and dump some truckloads of heavy gravel. I'm not sure whether the state done that or whether the logging company did, but they left so much in there that it's hard for the cars to get over it now. It needs to be graded down and dressed back up, I reckon, is what I'm trying to say.
I do have it on my list that they did haul stone to it, but I don't know.
Oh, okay, state did.
Well, they did some of it, I'm not sure,
Okay.
I'm not, the logging companies also will do some,
Right.
if they've caused damage.
Okay, and I had a complaint there out on the other end of Max Mountain where the turns into dirt, or the gravel end, that it needed to be graded because the potholes and all down through there. Indian Creek. I've noticed that y'all did get out there and spread gravel on part of that, but some of the potholes is coming back. I mean, I know y'all just trying to pass it, we appreciate that, but still. Do they actually have the plows still on them graders where you can plow them potholes out? And then, I know Dennis, who used to work back there in the valley, when he graded, he would go there and drop them plows down, and them roads they was good for years. I mean, not, seemed like it was
Yeah,
years.
I mean, there's the blade on the motor grader.
I know there's a blade
Yeah,
that scrapes
but,
it,
yeah,
and they're computerized now, correct?
they can do, yeah, to really get the.
Right.
The
But
grade.
what's happening is, you're covering the potholes up, and then they come right back as soon as the cars hit them. In other words, years ago, they would drop that thing down and tear the road up all the way out through there, and then come back and regrade it several times and get it dressed up there, and be done with the potholes for a long time. And now they're coming back.
And sometimes we got the attachment on the back that scarifies it. and really
Yeah, maybe that's
breaks it
what I'm
up.
talking
Yeah,
about. Well, somebody told me the other day what they seen was, they were still on there, but they had chains wrapped around them to where if they got stuck and
Yeah.
kept the chains off and use it, so they're not using those anymore. But they really need to on a lot of these days. With that said, let's see, 751 on the paved section, which is Indian Creek, I think, down towards the gravel end. I think I mentioned these to you back in January, and I know you couldn't patch them back then, but the potholes are still there. We need to get those fixed. Hill Road, I mentioned that to you back in November about the grading down through there.
Hill,
Hilton,
okay, yeah.
okay, across from the, on Indian, off Indian, Valley PO Road, and across where you turned, down from the Indian Valley Post Office down through there. That road needs grading bad. And also, one at the 500 block, the ditching needs to be done down to there. Guy who lives down across the road says the water is running down there. I think somebody put a driveway in coming down the hill, there was no culvert put under it. Anyway, the ditch line is filled up, and it's coming out into the road, going over onto his property, washing the gravel and all that into his yard when he mows. So that, he was complaining about that. That needs to be ditched if we can. Okay, Ferny Creek. It needs to be graded. And also down at the 1700 block on Ferny Creek, when it rains, the ditches are full down through there and all the water is standing in the roads. And it stays in there for a long period of time because I reckon from where the road sloped or whatever right there, it's not letting it go back to the other side. Sumter Road. I'll let you finish writing.
Sumter, 1700 block, I got that.
Okay. Sumter Road, which is off of Max Mountain. Go down the first hill, cross the bridge, start back up the other hill, when you start down the next hill, I went down through there in my car, and I didn't know that I would get back up in my car because it was so muddy, the mud had come up and clay, and you was actually sinking down in. Really needs some gravel right there in that section. Now, y'all had already gravel part of that road down through there on the bad spot, but that spot they missed. So it needs to be, gravel. That's all the bad things. The sign at Sawmill Hill that says Sawmill Hill and Indian Valley Road, I think I mentioned to you that back in, January maybe, in January meeting. Anyway, that is missing. They'd like to get that put back up. I don't know where it went to or whatever. I know they come in there and put the sign back up, but after that, the sign disappeared.
The road sign that says Sawmill Hill?
Sawmill Hill, and the one, in other words, you had one that says Sawmill Hill, then it says Indian Valley Road.
If I can interject there, Walter, we got somebody in that, they're over on my side too, who's stealing those signs. We put them up, and they stay up a month, so they disappear again. And
That may be what's happening down there, cause I was thinking that them signs were put up
Yeah.
back last fall, cause they had, disappeared. And now they're going again, that's really what I'm trying to say, so.
I'll check with that. VDOT works with the counties.
I think Carroll
that kind of
replaces all the
stuff.
signs,
Yeah.
Carroll County does.
Yeah, well, yeah, the sign crew for Floyd comes out of Carroll County, because it's still got the same structure as the old Hillsville residency. Same thing with the bridge crew. Even though the Willis area and Czech area headquarters report to Christiansburg, so that's just behind the scenes stuff. I know the guy that runs the sign crew out of there. I'll just try to get him to get with whoever he works with Floyd County to get the those 911 signs up. VDOT puts up the route number signs, but we work with the counties on the 911 signs.
All the road signs.
Yeah.
Names, yeah.
Yeah, we don't put those up.
Okay. Y'all getting ready to replace the culvert like out of Lucky's Chapel, that big one right there at Easy Drive? And I noticed y'all had that scheduled for April the 6th through May the 8th. And the only thing that concerns me about that is the school buses. Cause school still be going on,
Yeah.
they're gonna have to come all the way out to the Easy Drive, and then they're gonna have to turn around right there somewhere. Go back down, back out Allen Ridge, back down Easy Drive to catch the rest of the people on that road. I'm not even sure there's students on that end, but a lot of times, you know, you got kids staying with grandparents
Sure.
and all this. So,
It's-
is there a way that could be changed to after end of May to June? I'm just asking.
Yeah, I'll check and see again, that, I don't know if that's a state force, in other words, VDOT crews doing that, or if that's a contract. I'll see, I mean, again, that falls under that same kind of thing where that's crew doesn't work for me that's doing it, or it's the
Right,
bridge
okay,
office.
okay.
But we knew about it, we were looking at that detour just the other day, thinking,
Yeah.
it's gonna be, you know, people find their way through Easy Drive, I guess, but it's, you know, could be for someone who's coming all the way back around quite a bit.
Yeah.
But we work, you know, we work with the schools and make sure they know well beforehand, that they can, let the residents know if there isn't a school route. We also work with emergency services, the fire, and, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So that they know that this thing's coming.
Right, okay.
But if it's something that can be, a lot of times if it's on a contract, they've got 3 or 4 of them, and they might be able to switch them back. I'll check them and see.
Okay.
That's why there's such a big date, right?
Yeah.
April 8th to
Yeah.
May, whatever it was, is because they're doing a couple of.
Yeah,
different
they may not
jobs,
know,
right.
you know, which ones they're gonna do first, or,
Right.
and usually they'll, you know, for unknown circumstances that might occur. If everything goes right, it could be a lot less than that, is what I'm trying to say. They'll put a big date on it just because you never know.
And usually repair lasts much longer than a day or two, right?
Well, it depends, I don't know, I think they're replacing a pipe with a box culvert.
Okay.
The prefab pump, yeah.
Okay.
I'm thinking that there has to be concrete and
Yeah.
all that stuff. put
Yeah.
down,
That's-
Big pipe, and
Yeah, so it's gonna be a little bit more.
Okay.
so it's gonna be, I think it's scheduled down for almost a month.
Yeah.
Or maybe a day over a month or something
Yeah.
of that nature. I know y'all have firehouse on the road to be scheduled this spring.
Well, it'll start, it's gonna be put out the contract, so it's gonna be,
Do you know about when it's gonna be started?
no, I don't. I can find that out pretty quick, but it has not gone to ad yet.
Okay.
So once it goes to ad, it's a couple months before we even get the bids back.
Okay.
But it'll be this construction season.
Okay, I have been asking them.
Oh, yeah.
I was asking. I had mentioned to you earlier about Music Road out there, off of Sam Reed, I think it's off of that, the needed gravel. I'm not sure whether they have or not, but did you ask him to see if it has been? I haven't been back on that road. I just wanted to make sure that it was,
Okay.
and in Spring Road, I think, someone had told me that it needed some gravel out through there also.
That is on my list that they had done, but I don't know. That's one of the ones they told me that they got to,
Okay.
Rolling Stone, Indian Springs.
And I think that, I'll thank you again for all that y'all have done. Oh, one more thing, they talked about 221 down towards the Roanoke section. Well, let's look at 221 up towards our section too, Joe, because it needs some work up there through there too. I mean, you know, it's pretty rough up through the wheels there, so I don't wanna forget that. And we do appreciate everything that you come for us.
Thanks.
I was gonna sing pretty simple. Off of Law Branch, Huckleberry Ridge, me and you was up in there last year with, when they wanted to open the road. That first section, I guess is from Law Branch up, right? That's potholes, you know, they need that grade taken care of if they could. And then up on Emmanuel, Here's Bradley left me a message the other day. I haven't gotten back to her because I want to talk to you first. You know, she said that mud bog, so you might have to have four-wheel drive to get up through. And I'm wondering if it was when all that ice and snow melted off and the ground would fall out,
Yeah.
and it caused all that, but, you know, and one time you said you might get the engineer to go look at that and see what they suggest that you could do there. But, you know, me and you've been up there, had this,
Yeah.
there's no easy fix on
Certainly,
that.
yeah.
You know, it's, when it comes up and then crooks and it goes.
Yeah, and then the spring comes out the side.
Yeah, and it's like that, springy,
Mhm.
and I don't know what to tell, you know, the only thing we can do is just keep looking at it and working with it.
Yeah.
You know, eventually we'll find something to work,
Yeah.
because if we put in that berm like it was talking about, it's just gonna turn it out and rain.
It takes it someplace else, yeah.
Yeah, and it's gonna go down towards the,
Generally, VDOT's job is to keep the water out of the road.
yeah, there you go. And, yeah, and I know it's aggravating to them because, you know, my son's driveway, when it washes, it goes down the field. You know, we got all kinds of gravel down there. You know, and I've tried to, when I'm scraping it, to fix it where it don't. But the water's gotta go somewhere, you know. And if it makes a ditch one place, you move it, it's gonna make a ditch over there too. But them two roads especially, they,
Okay.
is the ones I'm getting complaints on mostly, but I know, I think, down Adams Branch and Boat Mill, y'all worked that pretty good the other day. Somebody said y'all was in there working. There was one road I was gonna send you an email on, that you, look at, because there's two bridges, I'm guessing the bridges is where big culverts go across. About 50 foot on both sides. Where it crosses. I told Mr. Phillips, it was like driving over a giant egg carton. Because it was just holding, you know, I mean, you couldn't miss it. And both my pickups, you know, just bounce on. But yesterday morning, I noticed that y'all worked that road.
Oh, they great.
And-
Someone else must have noticed that too. Ricky must have noticed it.
I got ESP or that David done read my mind, you know, but, and when I rode that road, I thought, man, Daryl's not working, he's on Christian Road, or Will, I don't know if he's still on the grader or not, but whoever run that grader yesterday, they must have trained him, because, I mean, he did a super great job.
Good deal. I'll tell him.
You know, sort of widened it in places where it sort of closed in and you know, got it where it. Then I noticed they was hauling gravel in that they, graded it, I guess to mix it in.
Yeah.
But it's really good road. I'm hoping, like Mr. Phillips said, sometimes in potholes pop back up.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, stay along on my.
It's just normal for them to do that, but, like I say, just about every road in my district, like everybody else is full potholes, and I know y'all get to them when you can.
Yeah. They don't gotta worry what to do when they come in the morning.
Sorry.
They don't gotta worry what to do when they come in the morning.
There you go, they probably dream about it.
Let me ask another question, have you done yet?
I just want to say, I really appreciate what y'all do. I know y'all limited on staff and money, and, I try to tell people that y'all do a great job for what you got to work with. You know, the old joke about buying your shovel, it takes 5 to run it, you know, you don't see that stuff anymore. People when they're out there, they're working, you know. I remember the days when I followed the motor grader for shovel full of big rocks.
Yeah.
I am an ancient when I'm like that, but,
You keep looking at me when you.
you're not far behind. I'm afraid to look and walk, they may hit me.
I'm just gonna go out and.
I'm just thankful I made it as far as I did, so. Go ahead.
When y'all mill these roads, I mean, you know, all this stuff is piled, I see it up there across from the Camp Fire Station, there's a big old pile across the road on somebody's property there. But nobody can use those for whatever, because they, once you put them on, say Levi's property, they're Levi's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't go there and just give them. Is there a way that millings could be put on these back roads, on the gravel part of them?
We do
Spread
it.
out and then graded?
We do it frequently, we'll use millings, some people like them, some people don't, you gotta make sure you don't have any of the big chunks in it, you know?
Right.
And it depends on, the contract, if the contractor comes in and mills it, sometimes they don't want them, sometimes they take them back for recycling or whatever. The ones that we can get and stockpile, that's what we use them for, we use them around a lot too, but, for places that, really need something like that, kind of.
Troublesome
Yeah,
areas,
we can put that stuff in, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen where y'all put it on some of the wet spots, like I was talking about, that, you know, hasn't rained a while, you still got that soft spot in the road, and they work that in, and
Yeah.
then gravel over it.
And millings probably work better if you got pretty gravel roads, cause on the hillside, they don't spin out.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the gravel.
I noticed they put them on Parker Lane Road, out there, you know.
Yeah, I know
Parker.
Parker shoots off.
And
Yeah.
it actually doing good, I mean, yeah, it looks good. I think one of the neighbors there kind of keep it leveled out there, make sure that, you know, it don't go nowhere or whatever.
I think we
It
put them
does.
on Indian Springs
good.
also before.
Okay.
It'd be good to use from August to September, when it's about 90 degrees.
Yeah, they'll be nice and workable.
Pushes it up and it packs it down, you know,
Yeah.
loosens that tar up a little bit.
All right.
But, how that you're talking about, and one's good fields and like,
I know. They don't, I think I was told that if they, that one person had it, they have to let everybody have it, so.
Good to see you.
Thank you. One other thing I wanted to mention, we are working on some of the, roads on the 6-year plan.
Right.
So we saw Firehouse is going here pretty soon.
Mhm.
Our meetup forces will finish up Hope. We're working on the right of way for Sunny Ridge. And actually, we went out to Ponderosa and got some
Movement?
decent response, some non-aggressive response. So that's always
Excellent.
good, yeah. But we need to set a public hearing date, and we'll try to get that in April. That'd be all right. Do that in April.
April meeting?
I don't think we'd set it yet, have we? Okay.
No.
most of the time we use the night
Evening,
meeting.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Unless you wanna change anything, there's not, you added a lot last year, so there, won't be much to add unless you take something off, because right now it's a pretty lengthy list. So, I'll set that, we'll work on getting the
Send it
ads
to
and
me.
all that kind of stuff.
And just so you'll know, and we haven't discussed it yet, but for next year, not this year, be thinking about 615 Christiansburg Pike from 221 to the Commerce Center. That turn there,
Oh,
as
yeah.
we,
I see what you're saying, yeah.
as we get more tractor and trailer traffic,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna have to take a look at that, because if you're coming out on 221 going through the middle of town, it's fine.
Sure, yeah,
But it's not the other way, we're gonna have to look at trying to bring that more
yeah.
T versus Y. Or, and it may just simply,
I'm not even sure it's a why.
well,
I don't know what it is.
well, I know, but I'm just saying,
It's
that's
a
why,
squiggly little termination.
Yeah.
but that's why
I agree.
I just wanted you to hear that and be aware of it, that I do plan on in the next cycle, talking to the board about trying to do something.
Yeah, and we have quarterly meetings with county staff, with our programming staff in Salem. That's good at looking for other ways to fund projects like that.
Well, that's why,
Yeah.
because I know I've talked to supervisors in other
Mm-hmm.
areas, and some of it has been close enough that they were able to use, they got a pocket of money, I forget what they call it, I apologize, but you can look.
Slush fund.
Well, no, it's for like Commerce Park, Industrial Park entrances and that sort of stuff that they've been able to use. Now, those were, I don't know if that section's too far away from a Commerce
Yeah.
Park, but
But that's, I think Carla and Ladine are on those calls, and so we'll chat with them and.
And I think now would be a good time, because probably granting the right-of-ways on either side, to
Yeah.
perhaps widen it.
Yeah, right away will definitely be involved with it.
And this might be a good time, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
and get a few, maybe we can meet up there one more and talk to them again.
Okay,
And, we can figure out a hole in my schedule.
all right, yeah,
So,
all right,
That's a mess.
thank you. I hope I didn't get you too off schedule.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Well, anything to do, just come back. and see us.
Yeah, we'll have to do some-
All right.
Miss Lisa,
Good
long
morning.
time no see.
I know.
Morning.
How are y'all?
Morning.
All right, just give you a little update what's going on in my office right now. We just finished up the new construction. Wingate worked over 800 permits. Our office does the data entry those, so Barbara's got all those completed. Notices have already been mailed. Janine's already processed the supplementals, they're in the mail as well. The ones that were completed by November the 1st due to the ordinance.
Okay.
So that ended up being around about $21,631, and it was a total count of 43 that we supplemented, that were completed. Other reminder is tax relief program ends on April the 1st. They still have till April 1st. If they're eligible, they would allow them up to a $200 discount on their real estate. So we had several come in new, so which helps all taxpayers for sure if they're eligible. The final thing I have is personal property forms should be hitting mailboxes. So if anybody has questions, have them call our office. Deadline for all those to be back in our office is May the 1st. It looks like the values have come down a little bit on cars, so that helps.
Seems like we just paid them.
Yeah,
Well, we did.
it's time again. Yeah,
Happens.
that's what we say in our office, we just get one cycle done, and it's like,
That's
did we
right.
just do that? So anything y'all have for me?
I noticed your postage, you have a bulk mail postage, or you,
Yeah.
right,
That's to mail the personal property forms out,
right,
so,
right. The printer does
Yeah.
all of that, right?
yeah, everything else we just do in-house ourselves, we mail all of our land uses, we sell them and stuff
Right.
ourselves.
Right.
Any of the meals tax and lodging, the girls do all that, we do all that in-house.
Okay,
It's the only thing that we outsource is the personal property forms, and that's it.
okay.
Did the lady out on Epperly Mill get back with you?
She did,
Okay, good.
yeah, and I made a note for Wingate, so she can address her issues.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
See if we got that worked out.
That's what she's trying to do.
Lisa and I got together and we worked through some stuff and, talking about the 85% to assessment of where values are, you know, the assessment is 85% to what is being sold. So, that was pretty.
Yeah, the sales ratio just come back from the state, so we're already at 85%. The reassessment was just last year.
Say that again.
The ratio come back, the study's showing 85%
85%.
of 100.
See, when we redid the assessment, that put us 100% as far as what we were receiving on taxes. It's already dropped to 85%.
So I think y'all wanna try to do a 4-year plan, so we'll have to start
Yeah.
addressing it.
We want to do a 3-year or a 5-year. I prefer a 3-year to get it in where it's not in a election year. See, we got out of cycle
True.
during the pandemic.
But the reason, because levels seem to be coming down.
Yes, there's still sales coming through that's still over what we haven't assessed at, so that's why the ratio has already dropped.
There's also some stuff that's been on the market that's.
Not going anywhere.
Not
Yeah.
selling for what it's assessed at.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they do those qualified sales, so that's what gets that ratio. So,
Yeah.
But if we can get it back on that 4-year cycle, in my experience, that, I know that more work quicker together, but it also, it's not as big an impact on the citizens.
Yeah.
See, when we kick it out to 6 years, that's,
Yeah, that's,
So, 27 to 28.
yeah, cause we went live, went 2025, so,
So we'll do 28.
so then they'll,
28,
so then we'll have to start, they'll do the field work in 27.
correct.
right.
So then we'll have to start December probably of this year. get your bids out, to do all of that, to get back, starting the beginning of 2027, so they can start doing field work.
Circle back around.
Yeah.
And then we also, reviewed calendars, you know, to ensure and, you know, possible, cause, spoke about, you know, budget calendar discussion and timeframes of needs from Lisa's office to get stuff to the treasurer's office, so we're in good shape. And I always appreciate Lisa's, she's been, very helpful, you know.
When would you like the tax rate?
Would she like them, or would she?
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're waiting, because we can't enter 2026 yet till we get 25 rolled, so it's all drafted, ready to go, but 1st of May would be wonderful,
Okay.
if possible. I think is what we sort of agreed on, because once it's set, and once you have the public hearing,
Yeah.
then I can move forward, because we have to go through and enter all the tax relief
Right.
discounts, all the veteran discounts, they all have to be done manually.
Right.
And then we run a check on everything, and then once everything's good, I let the treasurer's office know, she can go through and enter her mortgages. Then once all that gets done,
Right.
then I can send it on,
Okay.
then Missy does her part.
Yeah, we're in good shape, depending on how.
On us.
Yes.
Just
Depending on you,
saying.
depending on you and the proposal of the budget calendar and how, I think it would benefit us doing, to be able to, you know, just expedite, get good, clear communication, have good meetings, have anybody who wants to come in and speak, any constitutional officer, any department directors, and then we can have a meeting where we're just discussing the board's wishes, and then I can move forward. And we should be aligned with good timing for everybody.
And
And you could have the taxes without the final.
we're talking a little bit about budgets, since the school board had their public hearing on their proposed budget. Can we get copies of their proposed budget now? Or do we have to wait till they approve it?
History has been, it was when it was approved.
Okay. Cause that's.
I can try, I can see if I can get the draft. I don't believe it, I might be wrong, and I'll follow
Well,
up.
the reason I was just thinking, while you're still
It'll be
getting
helpful,
stuff
yeah.
together, we could look at that, and that's gonna impact what we do a lot.
Sure. Yeah, I can follow up with that. Got it.
All right, thank y'all. Y'all have a good day. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll be excited to be over here soon.
That's right. Just take the elevator up now,
I know.
when it's fixed.
I was seeing no more constitutional officers back there, so I guess we little down to old business.
So, old fun business.
Elevators.
Or I should say old, it's getting really old business. So old. So we went back and forth, like I said, you guys allowed me just to have another moment to kind of revisit a couple of companies. We revisited 3 for Procurement Act, and you have 2 examples, kind of condensed it into something, you know, not 97 pages, you know, that you have to go through. Also received recent communication regarding the question to Southern, who we currently for this building have our current maintenance contract with, and who is one of the people who, you know, put a bid in for the work. I can read that, or we can talk about what the numbers that came in, what it means. I mean, to do it, so I know that a few have asked about, you know, a new elevator in its entirety. The modernization, the repair that's necessary to get it running, and then come back and, you know, add to modernize it. The only real difference would be is adding a new cab, but the cost would be astronomical. The cab would be smaller. And you're really, what you're getting in modernization. So I will tell you the email that came through from Southern, from the modernization sales rep, was, let me installing a completely new elevator can be compared to trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. So, a complete replacement would cost twice as much of the modernization
From Southern,
from Southern.
yeah, it's about 155 from the other company. Okay.
Approximately.
Yeah, right.
So when I spoke to Mark, in depth, and Jenny and I sat with him, and with this building, the way the elevator was built was to fit to the building, not the other way around.
Right.
They didn't put, you have an elevator and then you work around it. It was opposite. So to put a new one in, it just may not be cost effective when we're gonna get the same results, pretty much the same results, with modernization,
A new one in that spot.
not a brand new one.
Well, no, though, you're talking about in that
Yes,
spot.
in our
Not a
current,
new one over here, but
correct, in this building, my apologies, in the government building,
Existing.
yes, it would be
Footprint.
the
Yeah.
modernization of that. So what they stated is that they can currently fix, well, and another thing, let me top it off, originally, you guys were gracious enough to approve us getting it fixed to get it moving enough, where it works, and that was about $68,000. Just let me finish this one part.
I was just
So,
gonna say it's 9:45, and that means that it's statewide
okay.
Emergency drill for tornadic activity.
Mhm.
It's being held right now, it's being broadcast on all emergency NOAA weather radios and such. Radio stations, TV stations are doing it right now. I just didn't want to neglect this. I think everybody in their home should have a safe place to go. Interior rooms under stairwells with no windows. If we were to get up right now and do a drill, we would head to the vault or downstairs to the basement where another vault is. So I just want everyone to know in our general watching audience that we are aware of this, and that I hope everybody takes time to talk with folks from the National Weather Service, or insurance agencies can help you out too, to find the best place in your home to go in the event of emergency. Tornadoes are rare here in the mountains of Southwest Virginia, but they have and they will happen. And so everybody needs to be aware of that. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Pardon my interruption. County Administrator Cheeto?
the last few years, though, they haven't been rare.
No, they have not.
as far as the southern and the cone, I think, is that how you pronounce that?
Yeah.
Okay.
We did have a third, we just didn't enter it because it's not a best value.
Is there any difference in the work performance, or are they both bidding for the same?
Same.
Okay.
And did we find out if there's any warranty on their work? What's
The warranty is anything from a year to 2 years.
okay, and it varies on parts?
Correct.
Labor, whatever,
Correct.
computer
Exactly.
board?
Yep.
Okay.
That's parts and stuff, and we have an existing, like I said, maintenance agreement with them,
Right.
so that would just blend right into it.
I guess I'm gonna show my ignorance now. I was looking down there at that, it says the payment within 30 days of billing, 30%, another line says 50%, period, 20%.
That's for cone.
What is that?
Well, similar to the other, usually they want,
30% down.
and that's to order parts and things of that nature. The Southern is 50, 25, 25.
Oh, okay.
But with Southern, 50% down, but they're gonna start the work to get it operable.
Okay.
And that was reduced from 68,000 to 35 if we go the full on that one. So it's about the same price, Mr. Booth, that you're looking at is that they reduce their original, because if we do the bundle. My favorite word, one of my favorites.
Anticipated downtime 9 weeks plus 1 to 2 weeks for inspection.
That's if you do the whole replacement.
Yeah.
Correct.
Take 1 to 2 weeks to inspect.
Well, that's for the cone, right?
Yes.
Basically, Southern is saying 4 weeks to
Well,
perform it.
so with all this, with modernization, with everything, now it will increase up to code. So all of
Right.
this will include phone lines, emergency lighting, fire, all
Right.
of that will be up to code. So the inspection will be for more than one, it won't be, anybody local,
Right.
just,
ADA and all those.
Oh, okay.
yes.
What's the capacity load now? I think I've seen a sign that said 2 people.
We put that.
Oh, you,
We put 4 people because it was burning up, more because of the age, not necessarily. You know what, sir, I don't know exactly with the modernization what the capacity would be, but I can find out for you.
okay, because that would be nice to know if you can get more than 2, 4 when it's completely finished.
The problem we had, and the reason we put the 4 on there is when we had that public hearing, when there was so many people out on that thing, this thing just quit.
Mhm.
That's enough, so not burning up. And, it's
That was 1,200 pounds, yeah.
It's 1,200 pounds right now, Danny
That's their skills on that.
So it'd be new starters, new shut-offs, new, door operator, the equipment, so it's some modernization to the door. There'll be all new hoist wheels, all that will be new. Closers, frames and platforms for the cab flooring. There'll be car top inspection station, which allows them to better get there and look to see what the problem is, which has been an issue. There'll be a car top fan, 2-speed, a new landing, so we won't stop midway and go real slow. From what I understand, new cable, traveling cable, hoisting wiring, guide rails and brackets, so you're almost getting a whole interior. It's pretty much the cab is remaining, and they're just updating it
The
through.
guts.
Operating panel, emergency phone and 2-way communication system, which usually will program it to dispatch, or I'd like to. Lantern, so if it does go out, electric, the lantern comes on automatic. So it's just all the stuff to bring it to code, not to code, bring it to modernization, which will meet a new code that will be required.
We about had it.
Yeah, I was just trying to catch up on this a little bit. The $60-some thousand quotes, was that from Southern, or where does that fit in back to this? Like what?
The 60,000, yeah, that was the lesser of the quotes, that was from Southern.
What did that do?
That was for the packing, for the cylinders, because what happened is it just, the oil was about this far on the bottom. It just stopped, so it would be replacing the inside of the packing of the hydraulics and bring it up.
But they haven't done that yet.
No, sir.
Okay, so that.
The reason
but
they
that's
haven't is that
where-
I asked them to wait, because, and brought that to you to see if I can get a full price of what it would be that would include that, but bundle, which they ended up taking $35,000
So
off
that's
of
why
that.
this says 35,685 for repack.
It was 68.
But the repacking would do the job to just.
They would
get
do
it
the
working.
repacking first, it would do the job, but it wouldn't last. It's not gonna last.
But if all they did was a repacking, it would cost $60,000,
68.
or 68.
Yes, sir.
That's what it was.
So yes, it'll get it operable, absolutely. And that, for a while, right. The other part about that is the other parts that are involved in continued repair are becoming obsolete and almost impossible to find.
What's our,
This also includes, this price also includes spare parts that will be on location. I learned it.
what is our they worth, for the tax levy?
A penny,
A penny,
is equal to,
186.
yeah, so I mean, we're like,
186?
like at a penny and a quarter for an elevator.
I don't think we have to. I think I have, a suggestion on where we can, where we have funds that are currently.
Yeah.
That would take care of this cost.
I wasn't suggesting that we have to do that, I'm just saying, that's what this is gonna cost, like a penny and a quarter.
Why am I trying to think?
That's all, thank you.
Mine's more of a suggestion. Excuse me. Whichever one we do, down here, the last line under Southern, it says, third payment, 25% will be required upon final completion and turnover. Can we put a slash and say, and acceptance, then period?
Actually, that is in their contract.
It's in the
This was just
contract,
like
okay.
a quick write-up. I didn't catch that, but that is actually upon completion, of all final inspections.
And our acceptance. Okay, I just wanna make sure, because didn't
Yes,
want
sir.
somebody come in and say, all right, here it is, and we're turning it over, give us, you know, I know, but I just,
No
I
pay-
had to do my
No
job.
pay, no pay.
I had to bring it up, so.
No, that's absolutely, yeah, I did not catch this when we did the little, excerpt here.
so, on my, throwing good money after bad, sort of, campaign, obviously, you, Mark, Jenny, have talked with both of these companies, and the idea that it's only the cab is not really.
It's not only the cab, but
Right,
it's.
but, and it's the idea that, as you just stated, that the building was built and then the elevator was put in, not build the elevator and then build a building around it, which causes the issues.
It causes the design, yeah, that's exactly what, that's.
Yes,
Actually, if you want me to, the existing building and hoistway structure was engineered specifically around the existing elevator design.
right.
Installing is complete, would be compared to trying to fit a square peg
Yeah.
in a round hole.
Right. Well, I don't really see there's not too much choice, and we gotta get it done, and we gotta get it done sooner than later. And, you know, I mean, we've been working with Southern now since we've taken over the building, and they seem to be very responsive, is that correct?
Responsive, professional, been real good with Mark, going back and forth, any questions I've had, and yes, very responsive.
Okay.
Do you wanna touch on where you were talking about this funding coming from?
Yeah.
Other than just, are you talking about other than contingency?
Yes, sir,
Oh, okay.
yes, sir.
All right.
After, if it's okay, you know, just getting prepared, and we've talked about SNAP funding and things of that, and, there is, interest that we have accrued. The fund is exhausted, the project is done, the bond, but we still have interest sitting, that is more than in there presently in one of the funds, 2021B, I believe,
To cover this?
more than cover that.
All right.
So it would be a drawdown.
And that was money we gained off interest.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Money that made us money.
It worked for us.
Right now.
Excuse me.
Hard to decide.
Trying to get this new.
I get excited making money.
So if that relieves some of your, you know, it will have nothing to do with what's presently in our general
You're
funds.
not armed reach.
The other part of this is this will be,
I didn't even hear.
this,
No, you
we
don't have
can
to.
budget it, and this will be in both budget
Yeah,
cycles.
cause it's gonna carry over.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good.
Well, are you ready, sir? I'd like to make a motion that we accept the elevator bid for repair and modernization from Southern Elevator in the amount of an estimated cost of $201,999.66, with appropriate signatures being approved for this purchase.
She's got some.
Yeah, if you would, just because, and I know this is
Says
a
estimated.
quote, right, but I don't know if you're comfortable with estimated, but what would be like my stopgap if there is this part, we need one more part and it's $2,000. I don't wanna have to come back and stop everything.
Not to exceed 210,000.
Okay, if that's what you, I'm fine.
I mean, that's what I'm,
Well, what you can do, doing it by the total estimated cost, if you see an overrun, you can always come back and ask.
Mhm. Either way, so estimated, okay, I'm just
I mean, it's up to
throwing
you.
it out there.
The way I look at it, if we're that far along and we need another 2,000 to finish the job, what choice do we have?
right, yeah.
Yeah, but
So leave it at the estimated cost, or you
Okay.
want me to round it up to
that's
202?
fine,
We can't quit right in the middle of it.
No, we
Right.
can't.
No.
I guess that's good, I just wanna make sure.
We're not gonna leave the elevator hanging literally,
Mid-floor.
as well as figuratively.
I'll
Well-
second.
One thing about it, they definitely can't go over the 226.
Right.
We got a second.
Thank you. On the motion to approve Southern's repair and modernization bid with the estimated cost of $201,999.66, Ms. Cookenbook,
Yes.
Mr. Cox,
Yes.
Mr. Phillips,
Yes.
Mr. Booth,
Yes.
and Mr. Turner.
Yes.
Call Mark.
Run upstairs, Brian.
Sorry.
No.
Thank you. I know it's been a minute for all of us. We definitely get our steps in.
There you do.
I should be in much better shape.
Yeah.
This next one
All right, go to the next one. All right, so, next on the agenda, Jenny and I, this is to put in front of you, not as a budgetary discussion, but how you'd like to move forward with the plans, with information, because we have open enrollment coming up. So we have to get everything in April 15th, April 1st, whatever. We have to get, and we need time frame to do it, and it's gonna be prior. So it's not a budgetary question of percentage of participation. It's just putting it out there, the new information that we got, Jenny and I were on a call with Anthem. Our insurance will increase 17.9%. And I will tell you right now, in speaking with some of the other county administrators or other boards, that is the least in the New River Valley at this point. They've heard up to 27%, 25%, 19.9, I believe,
Yeah.
19.9%. So we could, if you want to talk about reasons, that actually kind of indicates that we have managed it well, meaning managed working comp and getting like duty where people aren't going out, we're paying, so we managed it well, especially with our aging workforce, people not getting hurt, you know? You can't help illnesses or family members or dependents of need, so that's a good thing. The reason for the explanation, the reason for it is the health industry in its entirety, pretty much, did not manage the pharmaceutical approvals of the diet medications that were approved to go through your insurance. So there had been an influx throughout the United States. It's not, New River Valley only. But due to that, the pharmaceutical will change for the new year. It will not be a part of it unless there's another diagnosis that it actually was attributed to in the beginning. But the Ozempics, all the, getting the, the Mounjaros but now you go to the doctor and getting it prescribed when doing it online, and then you can bring it in and your insurance it wasn't managed. Jenny and I are on the call, and correct me if I'm wrong, so I was like, so your guys' inability to manage the plan on your end somehow becomes my problem, and myself and our employees have to pay for it.
Oh, yeah, they can't,
She was like, yeah, pretty much.
and there's a lot of salaries they've gotta pay and bonuses, those
Well,
insurance
so
executives have
That's
to
the
maintain.
reason, yeah, that's the reason,
Besides
so,
profit.
yes. So what's in front of you is, so I will tell you, it equates to about, this is approximate, because it depends on what plan and employee coming in at. It's about a $211,831, give or take, increase a year for the employer. That's an increase of what we're already paying. On a good note, VRS employer contribution, we've leveled out, when we did the hazard duty, we had to increase our participation to level out the coverage annually. Now it's back to norm. We will save approximately about $38,000 a year in employer contribution on benefits. So it's about $160,000 increase as opposed to over 211.
What about the average increase for the employees?
What do you mean?
Well, I'm saying that,
Yes. So,
but I'm
for
saying
instance,
the employees is gonna increase along with
so
ours.
our biggest plan, or our heaviest census plan, is the Key Advantage 500 single. The employees will increase by $23
Come on,
a month.
right.
The dual 500, again, the highest percentage. Most of the employees sit in the Key Advantage 500 plan, comprehensive.
Right.
That difference is $110 a month. And then the family, I believe was $160
Come on.
a month.
Yeah.
So, is that right? Yeah, give or take. And then we trickle down. We have 3 plans, Key Advantage 500, 1,000, that's the deductibles, and we have the high deductible health plan, which right now we have 3 employees in that plan and 1 resigned, he's getting married and moving. So if it remains, it'll be 2. It's not a big impact. The question that would be put in front of you guys is, do you want to continue to offer both Key Advantage 500 and Key Advantage 1,000 as a locality to all employees for options? Remember, we have comprehensive and preventative, there's 2 separate, and that has to do with dental. It is a bundled service. This includes medical, dental, and vision.
Was it last time or the time before we dropped to 250?
Last
Time before.
time before, I can't see us.
I wouldn't recommend it at this time.
Yeah.
I can't see dropping another one, I
Nope.
mean, that's,
I agree.
that's just me now.
No, my suggestion would be to just leave it static. You know, you guys were real gracious last year and really contributing to dual when you went 85, 60, 60%. Do you know that this is still less than, not last year, but the year before? Employees, even though they're gonna see an increase, it's still less than what they were paying, you know, a year
Year
ago.
before, yeah.
It's not, doesn't help, but.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think I, mentioned that, you know, we can't always, you can't ever predict what's gonna happen with insurance. Some years we've been very, very lucky. They do pass the rate changes onto the consumer for something like this, which is kind of very hard to swallow because it's their fault. It's not anything that we did as an organization, but it has to be kept in mind every time we look at this kind of a benefit, that it's not static, that it will change. And I think if we can absorb this year, which I feel is probably, I'm leaning towards that, I just think we have to be cautious as we continue to try to maintain you know, competitiveness that you don't wanna bite off more than you can chew.
Yeah.
And I think that that is something that we have to keep in mind, but my feeling is, I agree, I don't see how we do anything this year.
I will
That
tell you,
we
Jenny and I were already, and we're trying to get another, on a call with Pierce Group, who's another kind of, company that does, manages benefits in different fashions. Also received a number from a, private, to see if we wanted to take it outside, similar to the school,
Right.
self-funded. So we're looking into things, just have to be real cautious, with our current, vendor, you know, wanna make sure we're timely in it if we are gonna make, because they can get you with a buyout.
Yeah.
And I won't pay a buyout,
Right.
so, well, I would prefer to pay a buyout, excuse me.
Well, what makes it hurt, you know, for many years, normally you expected anywhere from a 7 to 9%
Right.
increase. And then to look 17 and, you know, boom, all in 1 year.
Especially when you're managing it, and
As well
and you're,
as it's ever been.
right, and you're.
And that's not throwing off on anybody, it's just,
Mhm.
that doesn't mean it to come across that way. But, you know, when you're managed as well as we have got it managed now, and then still face that 17, it's hard pill to swallow, no pun intended.
Especially when you're looking at the cost valuations that they're looking at, meaning, are you over 125,000, how many, like, there's so many different ratios, and we almost mimicked last year. And
Right.
then, so it was, 11%, 10%, 11.2, 3.9, and then now it jumped up to 17, and that's per year increase, so, you know, the average is about 10, 11, you know,
At the end of the day.
but I like 3. You know,
We're doing the best we can, but it's still not enough.
and we do everything we can, like I said, we're, you know, we've had people on our floor, we've had people that were able to get some at EMS, some at the transfer station. We work really hard to accommodate people's present medical issues with light duty. And that's really a big key to not, you know, taking that hit. That's very
Right.
I
costly.
believe these insurance companies anticipate how much your raise is going to be. That's how much the insurance goes up.
So, sir, I don't know if there's any other, the suggestion would be just to leave it. If you wanna have, you know, discuss budgetary implications, we can do that later, but as far as open enrollment and what we offer to the employees.
I'll make a motion, we leave it as we have it. Does that cover everything you need,
It does.
if you're ready?
Yes, Mary.
I'll second.
Good. All right, on a motion to continue with the existing plans as offered for fiscal year 27 health insurance, Mr. Booth,
Yes.
Ms. Cookenbook,
Yes.
Mr. Phillips?
Yeah.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
And Mr. Turner?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Now go ahead. Cardinal. The next, if I may, would be budget calendar discussion, which is kind of what we talked about earlier. My suggestion was, we don't need 92 days. But if you guys think you were able to commit, I mean, at least to like 3 long days, budget workshop, could be 6-7 hours. Yes, you'll get lunch. Start early in the morning, you know, go through lunch, have lunch, come back. The first one being that I would present, you know, the budget, like it did last year, and kind of run through it, see what the difference and changes are, what the asks are, why the county admin came in as something different, but go through it all on the first day, so you have a gauge of what we're working with. The second long day, I would think would be to have constitutional officers or department heads come in who'd like to present, or who you request which would like be the school, you know, and whoever has some large variances that you would like explanation, and then we can adjust after that. And then the third would be pretty much all your requests of edits, to represent it and see where we lie and make some final tweaks and go from there. I don't, because I'm gonna present the budget as I did last year to the best of the ability to get it in a good spot where, you know, there's only minor changes unless you wanna make some bigger moves that we could, you know, and that's fine, because we can always adjust.
So my question to you is, when are you ready to do it?
All department heads have their budget, spreadsheet, I already received one back. So
Do they win a prize?
I'm out next week. I asked them to return it on the 23rd. Yes, not next week, the 23rd. We have our board meeting the 24th, so I thought that those 3 days, Jenny and I will be locked in. No, she already knew. And then we could probably start the end of the first week of April. I think would be
That's
reasonable.
That's Easter week.
Is it, okay?
We can always do it that Wednesday, it would be appropriate.
April Fool's Day.
Sorry, I had to do
Just
that.
kidding, you're not getting any money.
What about like the 30th or 31st?
Of March,
Yeah.
I don't think that's reasonable.
Okay.
Because I've asked them to, hold on, let me look,
Well, they got.
oh yeah, and we have the auditor here that day. Very good, thank you.
Well,
Month,
And they are gonna have a preliminary audit sometime.
yes, before, yes.
much earlier.
Well, that's why we have the auditors coming on the 30th and then again on the April 6th.
What about,
Which is actually earlier than last year, but nowhere near where I'm already.
what about the
I like April Fools. just
8th?
saying.
You really do like April Fool's?
Mm.
Well, that's, I don't know.
The 7th
Yeah, the 8th,
or the 3rd is a Friday.
but that's Good Friday.
Oh, that's right, I'm sorry.
Is that the,
I keep thinking Easter's the week after.
No, Easter's the 5th,
Okay,
almost as early as it can be, ever. I mean, I guess it could be 1 week earlier,
okay.
not much earlier than that.
7th,
8th,
8th. Now, we've got to get them in there because then, now remember that's, we're talking with getting the public hearing in, so I can get it out.
yeah.
I'm good with the 7th.
Yeah, I'm fine with the 7th.
it is empty.
So, 9 o'clock,
Oh, okay, not 8.
Yes.
or 9 o'clock, yeah, I know. So,
Think about if we go too long during the day, just me, my brain's a little slower than everybody else, I reckon. The numbers start getting followed up,
Mhm.
you know, we get a lot of numbers. You don't want an 8-hour day, you know.
What if we say we go to 2?
I think the first one, sir, because I do hear you and I don't disagree. I think the first one is probably gonna be mostly, unfortunately for you guys,
Listening.
Jenny and I, and listening,
Right.
you know?
Right, I mean,
So
you
to
know.
be able to do all that, and then, you know, if you have any suggestions or you wanna talk about something more in depth, maybe we do that after lunch, and then we have a gauge for the next meeting, and that's when we'll clean it up and get,
During y'all's presentation, we shouldn't be interrupting or anything. We should let y'all finish and then jot your
I'd
questions
like that.
down.
I'd like that.
And then after, when we come back, then you can ask the questions.
Right, and that's why exactly, because that's why I prefaced, this would be me going through like, Board of Supervisors, no change. Really never is, unless it's FICA or health insurance, you know, I mean, then we go to, you know, this has been realigned, you know. The other part, please know that we've been working really hard, Pam, Jenny and I, in trying to change the line descriptions. So now they're permanently etched, which I don't know if you'll see on those, but it'll say, you know, whatever, county administrator, 2 full-time. It's in the line. It's nothing that we're doing manually. It's already. So
Right.
I'm hope to have all that cleaned up, and we're able, if you catch something, to make that, quick now.
That's what's causing a lot of people to get mad.
That's when I think she got $100,000 raise, and I was up there in $70,000 raise, and I was like, well, I'm an idiot, because I do payroll. There's something wrong here.
Her husband's still looking for that money.
Yeah, me too. But I understand the confusion, and so we made sure that each line that's gonna designate however many employees, I mean, the sheriff has budget, deputies 6, and then another 5, so we'll say 6 full-time, 5 full-time.
Right, without listing each individual, it's just the number, which that's what we need.
That's right.
I want to interject something here, because I know there's been some comments made that we need to get that audit in, because people need to know what their money's being spent on. I agree with that 100%. But it's not us. We cannot present that budget until the department heads do their job and give it to the auditors where they can do it, and it comes to us. So it's not ours holding up the budget, or the audit, it's,
Yes.
the buck stops with us, but we gotta wait till the buck gets to us.
So hopefully we'll be able to gather all those last pieces, but you're right, on that 30th. On the 30th is when the auditor will be here, and that's that, and then the 7th will be that hopefully last of the last, and then we should get it sometime, and we'll be within that one.
And I speak for the staff, they want this audit over with, period, because they've been burning the midnight oils, it says, trying to get it straightened out, but it depends on the department heads and how soon they get their
That is accurate.
work in.
So how many hours do you believe you'd need on that day? That first day, 5, 6?
My suggestion would start at 9, run to lunch, have lunch, come back just a little bit, and maybe an hour, an hour or two, so you guys maybe can give us direction. Okay, this is what I heard, this is what I'd like to see, I'd like these departments to come in and present, so you can give us kind of direction, we can do a little last minute fine tuning, if there's anything you'd like to hear differently, or have us go ask, because that seems to be what the trend was.
Right.
But this would be more kind of allowing that full budget explanation without not nitpicking, but like hitting right away, because things may be answered further down, and,
So between 2 and 3 maybe?
I think 2 o'clock,
2
9
o'clock?
to 2,
All right, 9 to 2, that's what
is
I'm
that
calling
reasonable?
That's what we're
Yeah, it
shooting
works.
for.
Okay.
This new time, it's still getting it from
Oh, yeah, I know. And maybe just do a half-hour lunch,
Yeah,
order early.
9
He's saying it's just this thing.
And after we get through that, then we can set other dates.
Or do you wanna do that now?
Or do you wanna do one more?
to 2. I would prefer to do one more, if that's okay, do one more, and then, I gotta
21st?
herding cats. No,
Why not?
Look at,
because I prefer it sooner, because if we're gonna have to
What
have a
about the
third.
15th? Fine day.
I'm fine with
And
15.
then this will be the meeting where maybe some constitutional comes in.
Correct,
If we want.
correct.
when is the tourism meeting? It's in April, right?
It's on the 7th, so
The
we'll have to reschedule that, because it is on the same day, but
That's right, it's 10 o'clock in the morning.
it's at 1.
You gonna get that rescheduled?
I'll take care of it.
Okay.
You're welcome, absolutely.
So if we meet on the step, one 14th one, or they meeting,
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't do it on the
Planning
14th.
meeting on the
15th.
14th at
In the
evening, it's in the
Yeah.
evening.
So we have our board meeting on the
Yeah.
14th, and then you come back here planning. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the 15th looks good.
Would that work?
But you said you want it sooner?
Is No, then the 21st.
Oh, gotcha, okay.
When you say 15th,
Yeah, Wednesday,
April,
15th.
April 15th, Wednesday. 9 AM again?
Yes, please. I would probably say schedule it till at least 2, because that's gonna depend on how many, department heads come in to speak, you know, and how that interaction goes.
But it could run longer, correct?
It could run shorter, and likely it'll be longer. Yeah, so after lunch, you know, for 2 hours, we try to schedule any presenters, you know, that come in, constitutionals that wanna come in, prior to noon, okay? That make sense?
Yeah.
Are you good with that? So, 4:15, 9 to 2 again, 2-ish. And then we can schedule the next one based on our needs, timing, and then reevaluating public hearing time and timeframes, stuff like
I'm just gonna put 9.
that.
Not put it in, because it may be 4, maybe be wrong.
It could be.
That all sounds good.
Can the chairman, do you want them designated as special meetings by the chairman, or us to vote to set the meeting?
Workshop?
They're workshops, so it's just, I have to just advertise appropriately. They're not special meetings. You know, they have to be, we advertise them, but they're not, we haven't historically, you know, videos or anything like that. No, I thank you, I appreciate that. The only special would be if it would be necessary because of public hearing, tax, and, you know, be it, but I'd like to be able to plan it. Good?
No, she said we didn't have to.
So,
Was
Okay.
that a motion or anything?
no motion?
No, I put action item because I thought something else would come up, but it's okay.
Okay, good.
So if I can we amend the agenda to remove the action item
Yeah.
from 11B, please?
So amended,
Thank you.
since I was the
Yes, you are.
motioner.
Thank you for working through that and allowing, because I know it has been a little bit of change over the last couple of years, but I think it's positive change.
I think it's changed for the better, yeah. All right, and will you send out an Outlook reminder, please, so it populates the calendar that's attached? Thank you. I've got it on my phone, but it's nice to see it here too.
Okay.
So with that, I will move up to the public comment period. It is the intent that all persons attending the meeting of the board, regardless of handicapping conditions, shall have an opportunity to participate. If any person present requires any special assistance, please let the board know in order that arrangements can be made. Speakers are limited to 4 minutes. Sharing or giving away unused time is not permitted. The board does not respond to questions or comments made by the speaker during the public comment period. And that will be open.
Okay, our first speaker is Lee Walton from the Brooks Fort District.
Lee Walton, as you stated there, last time I didn't put my name out there, March 10th, 2026. This is about the Myra Fork dumpster site. I tried to get the some information a few times on the Freedom of Information Act. I came to the office and was told I couldn't fill out a form. I thought normally you done, that I had to get online and fill it out and get a hold of somebody. Through that, I attempted, it was too complicated myself. I tried to call a few lawyers around here to get it done. Maybe their legal secretary could do it, and they didn't want to get involved, pretty much what it amounted to. So I guess I had to go outside the county, whatever. But, I was also concerned, about the bidding process on the timber that was sold off from it. It was, I think, poorly done, in my opinion, from what I could gather. Of course, I don't have the public information on it. That it was, valued at, $24,600, total acreage from 5.25 acres. But didn't get the bid, from what I'm gathering, of $10,000. It was just posted, by, some family members here, from what I understand. But, that it was only put in the Floyd County newspaper, what runs 2 days, a month, I guess. It'd been nicer to have a broader expansion, therefore I feel like either we're paying too much taxes, been overtaxed, or this bid was really improper to have got such a low bid on $24,000, almost $25,000 worth of timber. I've looked at it, I've seen it, actually it was, somebody looked at it a few years ago, I'm not getting into that right now. But, about this assessment, because I was gonna purchase it off Mr. Goad, which brings it down to he passed away, Hugo, and, a Julie Hubbard, I guess, had to go to court, do all that. I still get her mail, I don't know how I'm getting her mail. My address, if she had proper status to the land, and I guess that's been through court settled, for her to sell to the county, if y'all purchased it. That is, about her having legal, cause he didn't have any kids. I knew Mr. Doe very well. But as I was saying, yeah, I'll have the 4 minutes. But the place looks like a real dump now, for sure. All the trees just every which way, limbs, that's what's left. Erosion, you name it, where it wasn't done properly, no skirting, silk fences put up, poorly done. Of course, the price of that, y'all gonna put turning lanes and all that in there, to definitely exceed the values of some other lands that would have been a lot more accessible off the main road, safer for people. Right around the corner from me there, there's a couple of tracks, actually. Throw some gravels and a fence up. But that's probably close to my time. Yeah, it's just concerned about, like I said, either we've been overtaxed or the bid on the timber of the property there wasn't, just. But I guess I had to get a lawyer to get the paperwork on it. Appreciate it. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Walton.
Our next speaker is Frank Rudisil from the Brooks Work District.
Willis, Indian
Oh, it says
Valley.
Willis, so I didn't know. I'll try my best, sorry.
I need assistance to get out of this chair. I'm Frank Rudisil, Willis, Virginia, Indian Valley District. I got an update on Union Springs Road. I have graded it. There's no potholes. The state brought some stone, put speed bumps, and I have graded it down. So Indian Springs Road's looking good. I done better than Mr. Clark said. Next thing, I wanna know about the sign. I haven't heard anything about moving the sign 640 feet. But I do grade all the way to Gary Chafin's. All right, my next thing that I didn't bring up last month, I run out of time. Director of Emergency Operations, Dustin Thomas. He had a grant that had to be approved by February the 28th for the rescue squad to get a vehicle. I have a question about that. Last year, my neighbor had a stroke a few years before that. And she was told if she falls and hits her head, she has to go to the hospital immediately. Well, I called the sheriff's office to get the rescue squad, and they said there'd be one there. 35 minutes later, I called wanting to know where the rescue squad is. And they said, let me check. They said it'll be en route. 15 minutes later, I called, and I said, where is the rescue squad at? And they said, let us check. The 2 rescue squads, now I'm hearing about, we got four units and we need a 5th one. 2 rescue squads was at the Radford Hospital delivering patients. As soon as they get done delivering the patients, it'll be en route to her house. I said, forget it, I'll take her to the hospital myself, and I met him at Reiner Food Center. Now, the thing I have about the rescue squad, over here at the church, they called medevac to come in to haul a lady out that we helped assist over there, my wife and me, because she's a licensed CNA. We talked to a person that used to be a volunteer rescue squad employee, or a volunteer, let's put it like that, from Mr. Phillips's district. And he said the reason that you don't have volunteers no more, the paid rescue squad workers are sitting in the building, not doing anything at the time, and when the call goes out, they say, Floyd's en route. All right, and he's at Indian Valley. He said, the reason we quit, I was getting ready to jump in the vehicle, but it cancels me, and I could have been there a whole lot faster. But they want to justify their job, which is fine. But if we had Indian Valley going and the other ones are going like they used to be, yeah, you're gonna need rescue vehicles. And he was upset because he said, I could have been there a lot faster. But because the paid ones want to show that they're in use, and then I run into that problem with my neighbor. I think it needs to be addressed, and I agree with you that we need rescue squad back at Indian Valley. And my wife did CPR on a gentleman just a few years ago for 45 minutes. Not very far from the Indian Valley Rescue Squad, that the volunteers won't work anymore because Floyd takes care of it. How long does it take for Floyd to get plumb way over in the bottom of Indian Valley over off of Indian Valley Road, when they could have been there in about 10 minutes or less? And I know there's other rescue squad buildings in the counties that's got the same problems. And I think that needs to be taken a look at. We need the rescue squad, but we need volunteers. And if volunteers are getting mad because Floyd responds and takes him twice as long to get to the site. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And next is Chip Camp from Little River District.
Hello,
Morning.
Morning.
thank you for letting me speak again. As you know, I live on Sandy Flats, and I'll start out by saying that I started taking photographs of a particular area. This area is, and you don't know where this is, but it basically is where Farmer Bill has a cattle crossing. And it's in a low area, it's a very low area. And what happens is that this particular area, there is on the upslope side of it, there's a swamp. It gets backed up. There is no drainage across there. And lo and behold, there's also basically a spring up the road as it comes into a valley. Anyway, that this whole area is fed by water with no relief in it. And it ponds, it potholes, they end up grading, but it's not being taken care of. The problem is not being addressed. And it's becoming very frustrating to see this thing be graded out, and 2 days later it's full of potholes and full of water. I have addressed this with my district supervisor. I spoke with Mr. Clark about it. He had me forward pictures to him. I have sent the pictures to him. I have sent the pictures to Linda. I don't know where they go after Linda says they go up to VDOT. I don't know who takes it from there. It's becoming extremely frustrating that this thing is never, ever addressed. The rest of the road, parts of it are okay. Parts of it really need grading, parts of it really need ditches reformed, because especially in the winter, they plow, all of a sudden the gravel that was on the road now is off in the ditches, and the road is basically bare dirt again. And that's happening for, from Shooting Creek all the way to Harvestwood. Anyway, bottom line is, I know that next month, we're gonna come out, I guess, with another 6-year plan. I beg you to move Sandy Flats up in the 6-year plan, please. It needs it badly. I won't be here, I'm not gonna be in town, I wish I could be here for that. I hope that Linda will forward me a copy of the 6-year plan when it does come out. I would love to see Sandy Flats a little bit, elevated a little bit more on that plan, just so I have hope. If nothing else, I'll have hope. But I'll be back in May, and we'll talk. And I appreciate your time and your efforts.
Thank you for coming.
That's all.
That's all. No correspondence. All right, with that, I will declare the public comment. Declare the public comment period closed. Look at, I'm gonna meet it right here.
5-minute break, is that what I heard?
Yeah.
5-minute break, got it?
All right, with that, we'll be back in session, and then we'll take a motion to go into closed session under 2.23711A1, A6, and A29.
So moved.
I'll second.
All right, on a motion to go into closed session under 2.23711A1, 2.23711A6, and 2.23711A29, which A1, discussion, consideration, and interviews of prospective candidates for employment, assignment, appointment, and that appointment would be the planning commission. A6, discussion or consideration of investment of public funds, where competition or bargaining is involved. That has to do with renovation of the government building. And A29, discussion of the award of public contract involving the expenditure of public funds, including interviews of bidders, offers, and discussion of terms of scope, and that has to do with the grant contract. Mr. Booth?
Yes.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Mr. Phillips?
Yes.
Ms. Cookenbook?
Yes.
And Mr. Turner?
Yes.